Perfect. Perfect.
I was holding my breath for a long time. I didn't expect to do that. Welcome back, reality check. You know about that? Hey man, say man. Xay Dryz and Cut. VP, what's up? We're back with another video. This one's gonna be crazy. Let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it, man.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I'm gonna be a doctor.
How much do you want to make?
I'm gonna make people feel okay.
That's a real thing.
This chicken has been living in the metaverse. This is what it looks like in the headset.
That's crazy. Reminds me of Astro World. That sentence was crazy. Astro World. That event was horrible. That event was terrible, bro. That event was terrible. Okay. I apologize. That video, bro. People are not okay, bro. Bro, the world is not okay for real. The innocence of this child. How much do you want to make? What do you want to be when you grow up? A doctor. Okay, first of all, that question alone, we gotta stop asking that question to our children. When you grow up, what do you want to be when you grow up? You gotta ask them, how do you want to live when you grow up? Two different things. Anyways, we're moving on. So the question was, why you want to just skip over that like you ain't just drop a gem just now? This guy said anyways, moving on. This guy, yo, this guy, hold on, bro. Ask the young generation how they want to live instead of ask them what they want to be. Yeah. Yes. Asking how you want to live. Asking someone, how do you want to live? Because as you see, this child did not even answer the question the way that our minds would answer this question now. How much do you want to make? I want to make people feel okay. Okay, how do you want to live? Okay. That's low-key like the blessing of children, because they will literally not answer a question correctly, and it will be like the most profound thing. This boy is like just kicking rocks from his arms. They'll literally say whatever, bro. So make people feel okay. Honestly, that this kind of takes me back to my childhood, because when the whole reason I even run, bro, the whole reason I even do like track and field, or I even on this journey, is first initially was just I realized that I was just fast. Nobody could catch me in tag. That's how it started, and it eventually grew from that, just having fun as a kid. Throughout my entire track career was literally just having fun, until I reached a point of, okay, this can now be your job. This can now be like you're living, training, competing. That can be your life. Before that, it was about creating impact in the way of reaching people through love and just spreading the word of my belief in terms of like faith, and reaching people in a very meaningful way. And it was really about a soul-saving pursuit through the gift that I had. I understood that at a very young age. Could I articulate that? No, but that's what it was.
Ikigai, basically. Ikigai.
What's it?
We talked about this before, but it's basically the concept where it's like what you do. It has to be a combination, or usually it's a combination of are you good at it, are you passionate about it, and logically can you actually make it into a career.
Right.
So like so basically you realize all those things basically.
Yes, I realized those things before I actually saw the result. I realized those things because I had maybe 2 out of 3 of those, which was I enjoyed doing it and I was good at it, relatively to who I was competing against and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But looking at it from like a perspective as me as a child, there was no thought about money. There was no thought about wealth. There was no thought about any of that. All I knew was I enjoyed running, putting one foot in front of the other. Somebody would try to tag me and they couldn't. Like,
that's the calmest flex I've ever heard, bro. Hey, listen, I found out I'm a runner because somebody tried to tag me and they couldn't catch me, bro. They literally couldn't catch me, bro. So I said I'm a runner. Yo, that's crazy.
But when I think back to it, it honestly was. I had and this kind of comes back to what we were talking about before, because I'm sure this child probably has a very strong parent or guardian or guardians who influence the way he's thinking. You know what I'm saying? So it comes from a nice, not nice. It comes from a particular background to instill certain thoughts and ideas into children. That's first. But like, what was your childhood like growing up? Like, what was like your first initial like, oh, like I love to do this. Like, what was your reasoning behind it? Because for me, I feel like track was a way to use what I was naturally good at and also passionate about to also achieve a level of impact bigger than myself.
See, I have 2 really. One of which, if I'm gonna actually be like the equivalent of running to you would be music to me. Yeah. So for me, in terms of music, I am actually, I don't want to say the opposite, but like I initially wasn't even that good in terms of like rap. I was good musically because I have a music family. Yeah. So I have like I've always had like a natural music ear. Right. But in terms of like the skill of like actually like hip hop in particular and like making beats and stuff, I wasn't good at all. But it was just it was just something at all, bro. So I have some files, bro. I would go to my grave, bro. Oh, bro, double encryption, bro. But it was just I think as a result of my like music inclination, if that's a word, I just took an affinity to it. And also because I quickly realized that it's a constructive way to relieve stress for me and be kind of like even just work through problems, to be honest, because like poetry is basically you writing yourself through whatever it is you're going through. I use it like that anyways. Yeah, okay. And I think a lot of poets, for people who actually use writing as poetry, like for real, a lot of them like use it in the same way. Right. So for music, that's kind of it. But when I think of my overall childhood, the best way I can explain it, which as a result of it is why I'm in a podcast right now. Okay. Because basically my whole childhood, all my friends were, I want to say, at least 6 years older than me. At least. Like the majority of them. Yes. And I mean, like even in like I grew up in church and stuff. Yeah. All of the people in my friend group, quote, in the youth group, significantly older than me.
Right.
I mean, my aunt, who basically is my sister, we act like brother and sister. Her friend group in church were all obviously around her age group, which was also my kind of group too, because there was not really anybody my age.
Right.
So I've always just been super, I just always observe certain situations from, like a more mature, mindset. Not that I'm always mature, but I just always have this.
You're around that sort of like
So I have like the lens.
Yes.
I have lens.
Okay.
So that, and also just anyone will tell you in my childhood, I'm probably the most observant person in the room at any given time. So which is why I think I'm so good at like looking at behavioral patterns and noticing, this is a problem here, this is an issue, because like I just notice things.
Yes.
So that's kind of, which is why like therapy, podcasting, talking about stuff / music, poetry, that it's all kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that. And then what drove you in that direction? So was it because of the environment that you were in? That
What do you mean, hip hop?
Yeah.
I personally think that like the stress that I was trying to relieve, if I was to for me personally, I know people are different, but like for me personally, if I was to do that by like singing, like Adele singing, I don't think it would have done the same thing.
Right.
I just feel like it's a different, and people are different obviously, but like I feel like it's a different it releases a different like hormone almost when I'm like in, like, you know what I'm saying, like
getting in them chops.
Yeah, like I'm talking
Toothpaste in the booth face and
you feel me, like
in the boot cut.
And also just like on a technical note, I just always found it so interesting how specifically in rap there's a lot more nuance than you typically find in like just singer songwriting, because it's like there's tons of metaphors and similes in regular singing and stuff, but like the double entendres and the necessity for different flows to get across certain feelings and emotions, and then the metaphors and similes, everything, and the allegory, everything together happening at the same time, which is why the genre isn't for everyone, because for some people it's just too much to listen to at once. So it's a lot, but like I feel like for what I was trying to express, it was like perfect medium. I feel like
interesting.
You know,
that's so crazy that you said that, because we kind of grew up together a little bit, like and our friend group, like I was like what a year younger, 2 years younger than you,
like a year and a half, I think. Yeah.
So like I was like when I kind of in between your friend group and sort of my friend group, but I kind of chill with your friend group more. And I can definitely see how, because I left. It's crazy our story, because I left and we kind of reconvened like a decade later. Yeah. And here we are, which is crazy. Wow.
Hello.
Yeah. But just the way you articulated, there was a stress there, and then you found like a medium to express that through. That is interesting to me, because would you say, this is a question because I want to make sure I actually I'm hearing you, would you say that you found music or rap, or just you found that in the time that you needed to, or were you like always like in it and then you just developed it over time? Did you find out like, okay, so you were stressed and you were like, okay, I'm gonna find a medium, I love music, based on your observation skills, you pay attention to detail, there's a lot of different things
Yeah.
going on with rap. There's a lot of things you just said, like the actual pieces of the technicality is more than just what's portrayed on the media. Let's just boom.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
actual work of it is difficult to
That's
portray
correct.
what you're actually wanting to portray.
That's correct.
Based on your personality, based on how you grew up, that makes sense. Would you say you found that, you sought that out, or was it something that just came to you naturally?
It's actually both.
Word?
Because I wanted to find something that I could just use as a medium, but it's like I didn't just find I can do hip hop and then that
Yeah.
was it.
Okay.
Because one of them is also basketball.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You hear me? Just, and all the hoopers know what I'm talking about. When you're on that court, you're not thinking about nothing else, bro. You're just you know what I'm saying? You're just clearing your mind. So that's one of and I used to like box a little bit and whatnot.
I didn't know.
But just stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? But it's interesting because, as you say, it's actually difficult, technically,
Right.
to actually, if you have something to convey it properly. So when I just thought like, yo, I could actually rap or whatever, or like I could like make music, it took me a while to get to the point where I felt like I can actually do that effectively. And then once I got to that point, now it became like an actual effective stress reliever because now I can actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, it's like I see the potential, but I can't actually like it's. At one point, it was actually like more stressful than anything because it's like I have an idea and I want to get it out, but it takes me so long to try and figure out how to do it or like how to do it properly. Then I have to go on YouTube and learn how to do this thing so I can da 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 da. And I had like, I wrote this idea down, but then when I heard it back, it sounds garbage because I can't write lyrics properly. Like
this man was paying his dues before he knew his paying dues, bro. You have to pay your dues.
You have to
pay your dues.
It sounds like. It took and when I say a while, I don't mean 6 months, bro. I don't mean a year. I'm talking, and it's different for everyone, but I'm talking like put this in context. I released my first song for the purpose of other people to hear in grade 12.
Oh wow.
I have actually been rapping since grade 9.
Wow.
But grade 12 was the first official song. Which was 2017. It's only been, I want to say, since the end of 2020, maybe beginning of 2021, where I finally made a batch of like that's the first batch of songs where I can re-listen and not feel cringe.
Wow.
Or like I can re-listen to it and be like, okay, this is actually decent. This is actually good. Like I can actually let this play.
Wow.
Or like this is the first batch of songs where like even if I don't think it's my best work, I can still feel comfortable for other people to hear it.
To listen
I'll be like, yeah,
wow.
I can let this. If somebody is like, Xay's an artist, play his music. If they played a random song from that batch, I'll be like, I can let it run.
Wow.
If it's anything before that, I'll be like, turn it off, bro. I'll be like, turn it off. I can't.
That's crazy.
Horrible.
That's mad. That's
Horrible.
a lot of time.
It's a lot.
That's a long time. From grade 9 to 2022 currently. Almost 2023 when we're recording. Might be seeing this next year. 2023. Happy New Year. No, but
Literally.
that's insane. And I feel like people need to hear that. I didn't know that either, but
Yeah.
people need to hear the fact that like
The time. Yeah.
it's like overnight success, this and this and
It's
this.
not, bro. Even Lil Durk, a lot of
Yeah.
people think he just appeared. Bro, he's literally been rapping for 10+ years, and that's an artist that a lot of old heads and a lot of different technical artists would say is just a trapper who doesn't really take poetry or like writing seriously. It's just whatever. And even at his level, took 10 years, bro. We're not talking about Kendrick. Lil Durk took 10 years, bro.
Listen, man. I honestly love this. I love this because when you think of the innocence of a dream of a child, it's not tainted. It's not puffed up. It's not. It's just raw.
It is.
It's just raw. And so to
Right.
see a video like that, and then the contrast of what the world is,
Man, the word is not okay, bro.
is the exact reason why I believe we've been blessed, and I think everybody has something inside of them that has been put there specifically to bless somebody else in this world. I heard on a podcast that whatever is inside of you yearning to come out, nagging you to do, is coded for somebody else to receive as a signal. They're waiting for you to step up to the plate.
Wow.
So your music, somebody's out there waiting for Xay's music, bro. Just yours, because it's synced to you, bro.
And this is a question I was gonna ask based on this video too, because like, so as a kid you can have certain desires and dreams and stuff,
Right?
but what is it what are the elements as you progress in life that allow or contribute to your desire to want to keep the same goal? Because I know a lot of people who switch, and I'm not saying that switching is bad necessarily, but like, if the kid said he wants to make people feel okay, like what life factors is like, even through his 20s, is like, I have to keep this going. Like, and for you, it's like impact is such a big thing. I have a feeling that impact has been with you since you were a kid too.
Yeah.
But like, what is it that's like, even till now, it's still that top priority? Like,
That's a really good question, because this is something I've asked myself a lot in the last, I guess, since COVID really, is what is important to me and why. Because there's been times where, I'll be honest, I could have stopped running a long time ago. I could have stopped running this year. But what keeps me going, I could have stopped running before I even made my first Canadian team. I remember when my parents...
I love how he's just lightly saying my first Canadian team, as if that's not a serious thing he just said. Oh yeah. I could have stopped before I made my first Canadian team. Yeah.
Well, I only say that and preface it with that timeline because 2 years before that, I was struggling with my parents' divorce, bro. Struggling with it, bro. And it wasn't something that, like, growing up in the church too, I just never expected it. I was just like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. This nah.
Yeah.
But when it
can't happen to me.
Bro, when it did, track switched from impact driven to my support system.
Bro, you just hit so many feelings, bro.
Oh my days. Yo, put this over there, some man. Bro. And I'm sure you feel that too. Like, there's just times where your craft, what you've been working on, becomes the only, like, no, I wouldn't say the only thing. Like, yes, I prayed, but like, listen, man, you're talking to a 14, 15-year-old kid who literally at the time, I was in band, I was in jazz, I was in track and field after school. I was doing all right in school. Like, high school is high school. You know, you just do your thing.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, at that point, my whole world was high school. Like, I just went to, so I'm like, okay, cool. Boop, bop, beep. I didn't say anything that was hurting. Nothing came out of my mouth. And this is just me as a person.
Yeah.
I flashback to when I was, I don't even remember how old I was. My mom told me this memory, and I only remember the pain and me running around. But I got stung on my nose by a wasp because I was messing around with
a wasp.
They were my favorite cherry.
Are you gonna say bee? A wasp,
bro? Swollen. I had a cat. This was in Jamaica. I had a cactus tree in the middle of the yard. I'm running around it
More prickly things.
quietly. My mom said what I did was,
Bro, how can you panic quietly, bro?
bro, I
That's
was
wild,
running around, just tears.
no noise.
No noise. So I have a tendency to cry inside, internalize, and so
Whoa. That was unnecessarily deep, bro.
and so growing up, this is something that I feel like that was just me. This is something that I've displayed even in my infancy. I got bitten by ants and there was no actual sound. I would just cry. So fast forward to like when I'm 15, I'm actually like, my parents are asking me, are you okay? If you need to, they're being supportive, they're being great. Good, I'm fine. I'm going through the motions, bro. The next 2 years, I made my first team in the next 2 years.
Damn.
Between that time, I had to talk about it because it got to a point where like my sport wasn't doing it, music wasn't doing it. I'd pray about it, but listen, there's just something about saying things out loud. When you hear you say it, it just shatters everything.
Man.
So yeah, track became not only the thing I still loved. The goal was still the same in the back of my head, but I was hurting at the time, so I used it as fuel. I used it as this thing I could just escape and just run, just be myself, just laugh, and it was a way to be away from. It was a home away from home.
Man.
A home away from something I was not familiar with because it was no longer a home. So at that level, I would say and answer your question by saying things in life can change. Now, when I look back at that moment, I can speak to that moment free of any ill, like I'm free of that. You can hear that. Like I can share that story without, being attached to it. And that only comes through actually dealing with it. So what I actually did was came home one day and just broke down. What's wrong? I was like, well, I said I was okay. I'm not. This and that. This third degree. And it was from that moment where it was like, okay, there's still love from both sides. I just, I needed to say my piece, and then that was it. My sport, my music as well, because I play the drums as well, switched from a state of survival to a state of determination, because I was just like, I was grinding. Like I was grinding without even like really realizing what I was doing.
Yeah. And that's what I was gonna ask you to, like,
yeah,
cause I feel like the way, I mean, you kind of are the same way, or grew up in the same way, but like the way I grew up and the way how my personality is like I have been and am really good at communicating my emotions, but I don't actually like emote. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like I don't actually like.
Yes.
I don't actually like. You know what I'm saying? Like if I like, I'm really good at like, if I feel sad, quote, I'm really good at telling you, hey, you like I feel this way, but I'm not actually gonna act sad though.
Yes.
And it's good and bad.
Yes, it is good and bad.
It's good and bad.
It is good and bad.
Because I've seen the sides where it's like, okay, I'm more patient than most people. I'm very slow to anger. I don't think most people who have known me don't even know what it's like for me to actually get mad for real.
Same.
They don't know, right? Because I'm very good at.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, like I think, and maybe there's people who can relate, but like there's times when and therapists will say that you actually have to just feel the emotion. How? I can't. I mean, the way that I've progressed and the way that I've developed my personality, it's got to the point where like I actually don't know how to sit in a corner and just feel an emotion, bro. I can't do it.
Really?
I can't. I mean, like if I really
like
try to, or like if something catastrophic happened, like if my mother died, I'm going to be sad.
Yeah.
But like if it's like if it's like
God
freaking
God forbid.
Jesus, please. I didn't mean that. Okay, but like if it's like something where it's like just something that's not to that degree,
Yeah.
that a lot of people would be just down in the dumps about.
Let's say you were with your girl for like 2 years,
Bro, because here's the thing, like the way I am, I'm gonna be upset and pissed, and I'm not gonna feel 100%, but I genuinely don't think I'm gonna sit here and cry, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and like feel sad. It's gonna like, it might bleed over into like some other stuff. So like if I have work to do, I might do it like more aggressively because I'm like, oh, like, or something.
Yeah.
And the way how I am, I'm also not gonna do that too much, because like most people, if I'm like angry or like if I'm
like hurting
or something, I'm not the one to project my stuff onto other people. So I'm not gonna like talk to you mad because I'm mad. Like I'm not the type of person to do that.
Right.
But at the same time, like I would it would bleed over a little bit, but like I genuinely don't think if something like that happened, I can't just sit here and be sad, bro.
Right.
I'm not just gonna be like, and not to say that's bad, but just me, I don't know if I could actually do that.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to, but like how, bro? I can't just sit here and just be like,
yeah.
And I think it's because I have a very, and it's good and bad too, I have a very strong sense of whatever happens. So it's like, it's good, but it's bad.
Yes. I I can relate in some way, just because my natural reaction to something, why am I turned Italian? My natural response to things is, okay, internalize, how did that make me feel for real? And based on how I process that, while I'm thinking about how it's making me feel, I'm also like going about my life.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Let me explain this.
Here we go.
Since I was very, very young, right? Since I was very, very young, all I've known is sport, academics, repeat, right? Recently, over the course of life, things may change. So you add a job to that, you add relationship, you add friendship, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of all of that change, that adaptation, all that kind of stuff. All right, ask me your question again, and I'll tell you right dead center. Ask me again.
Okay, how do you just feel an emotion?
You sit with it until you don't feel it anymore.
Dang.
That's how you feel it.
Because
listen, any other thing you do is distraction.
I guess.
But at the same time, throughout my life, I've cultivated a certain lifestyle, a certain life habits. Through those life habits, they've actually been able to help me through the ups and downs of my own feelings. Because I'm going to practice every day in the morning, I know it's going to happen. I got to make sure I'm not crying up until like 12 at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Through the habits of actually like the life that I've sort of created through time.
Yeah.
I came to the conclusion or the point, crossroads, the fork in the road where I could say, okay, I either sit here with this and allow everything I work for to kind of wither, or I keep going. There's an in-between point there where you actually have to deal with the emotion. The way I did it was channeling that through sport, through my body.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Because it's like, I guess it also depends on what you mean by dealing with it.
Yes, that is one way, not the best way, but it's a great way. Because at the end of the day, I go home, I'm not moving my body, and it's still there. So, through,
because there's been times, right, where like I'll be frustrated or like angry about something, and I mean, it can be argued that this is how I dealt with it, where I literally just rant to my friend about it, and then after I'm just like, I'm good now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if some people would consider that dealing with it, or if I just was complaining.
I could say decompression in a state of like releasing is a way of coping with something. Because all it is, dealing with an emotion, is release. That's literally all it is it's a release of, and that's why people was like, oh, so and so blacked out on me. What do you mean they blacked out on you? They just lost their mind. Oh, what do you mean they lost their mind? I don't even know. I've known John for so many years, and I've never seen him act like this. It's just that it can happen. But if you allow it to take over, that's when it becomes, oh, he was acting insane. So there has to be a balance between, allowing yourself to feel the emotion and then also dealing with it in a way where it's constructive to you. Know yourself. If you have to rant. If you have to go on a walk alone, go alone. But if you know you've been struggling with suicidal thoughts, don't go alone. Like, know yourself. And I feel like if excuse me, if you get to a point where nothing is helping in terms of like what you naturally do, and I guess this is a question to pose, but like, what would you say then? Like, if you've tried everything naturally, like if you're like, okay, I ranted, I ran 2K, maybe 10K because you're really mad. I lift some weights, maybe engage in things that you need to engage in, or you feel like you need to engage in, whatever the case is, and it doesn't work, what then?
Jesus. Literally. God himself. And sleep.
Seriously.
Go to bed. At least for me.
Yeah? Seriously?
I literally just go. I mean, I don't like literally, okay, I can't deal with this conversation, let me go to sleep. Not like, but like, like, because there's two people. There's the kind of people who, if they have an argument, they'll go to bed and wake up the same mood. And there's people who, when they wake up, they're fresh.
Right.
I'm the fresh one.
Okay.
So like a lot of times, if I'm like very angry, and I have to preface by saying, you won't actually know that I'm that angry, because I don't like to actually behave like that. But like, if I feel angry, a lot of times if I go to bed and wake up, I won't feel like that.
It might be not. I'm playing. Oh man. No, I really like this segment. I didn't know we were gonna get into it.
I didn't either.
Into it. But I'm glad we did. And it comes from a place of innocence, in the sense that we all of us, every person watching this right now, every person every single person had a dream at some point. Whether it was to be a princess, whether it was to be, kiss a frog and turn into your knight shining on. It doesn't matter. Whether it's to be a CEO, whether it's to be the
that
Beth
story is crazy. Who made that,
bro?
Anyways, I'm sorry. I had to just say that, bro.
Whatever it is, every child had a dream. If the dream changes, that's fine. And it kind of comes back to a little bit of what I was saying earlier, in that although my goal now is the most refined it's ever been in impact, because it's such a broad thing. In impact, it's the most refined it's ever been. It is and still remains the same goal I had as a child. Which is why I continue to do it. Because I feel like if I don't, I'm robbing myself of the time invested, the resources invested, myself in terms of like my younger self being proud, looking up, being like, you did it. Like me standing on the Olympic podium, bro. Me standing on the Olympic podium, bro, is a byproduct of the impact I want to create. That's it. That's all.
Good night. That statement is crazy. That statement is crazy.
Because that's true to my that's literally me.
Bro, listen. No, let me talk to y'all real quick, bro. No. Let me talk to y'all real quick, bro. For all of y'all that have a goal, which your goal is for the wrong reason, I want you to listen to what this man just said right here. He said that his goal of standing on a podium is the byproduct of his actual goal, which is impact. Listen to me. Whatever actual goal you have to impact the world, that all the other stuff that you want to post on Instagram should be byproducts of your actual goal. I don't want your goal to be something as superficial as a picture that you can post on social media, bro.
Facts. Listen. The goal should not be able to fit in a post. It should be... The goal
Bro, I'm writing that down and putting that in the song immediately. I'm dead serious.
The goal is...
I'm so serious.
The goal is exactly what this video is talking about, full circle, is to make everybody feel okay, bro. It's just make the whole essence. Listen, the one thing, I heard this in a podcast, by Ed Mallett podcast, crazy, check it out. The one thing that you and I will feel forever, and it never diminishes in its intensity, in its vibrancy, in its authenticity, in its vitality, is service to other people. That feeling of gratitude never diminishes. Yeah, the car is fine. By the time you get the 20th one, but service to other people, impact on a scale where like you can say, I can't post that because that's in somebody's heart. That's real. Whether it's for your family, whether it's for a friend, whether it's whatever the goal is, it doesn't have to be the Olympics, but like it doesn't have to, but it has to be real to you. It has to be real to you.
Now let me just stop this right here, because I know all y'all gonna get here and say, oh, but VT, y'all gonna sit here and say we have to have impact, but then we all have bills to pay. We have to have money. We know. I understand.
Yes.
We get it, bro.
Yes.
As we were saying earlier, all of that has to come together, bro.
Yes.
Because if you have a very strong passion, but you can't make no money from it, it is a hobby. That's what that is. Okay, so you need to be able to make money from it for it to be a career. All I'm saying is don't shoot straight to the career part and leave out the passion, because if you do that, one, you're gonna be miserable, and two, what you do in life is gonna be so superficial that you don't matter at all. That's what I'm saying.
Have you lived? Have you loved? And do you matter? At the end of life, ask yourself these 3 questions every day, because at the end of the day, these are the 3 questions. If answered, and the answer is what you love, the answer is actually yes, bro, you've lived, you've loved, you've mattered to so many people. Whether it's the so many people is the 3 people in your family, because you actually you changed the course of their lives by working hard and doing the things that you need to, whatever it is. But just make sure that at the end of the day, it's not about the material. And I truly believe if you follow what's inside will yield dividends. The superficial stuff will come, but if you follow what's here, and it sounds so like cliche, but like I have sincerely, in the effort to serve others, my life has changed.
And honestly, like, even if you want to be selfish, bro, it's in the best interest of you as well.
To serve others.
I've literally heard Gary Vee say this.
Yep.
Where he's like, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, well, that's nice to say, but I would prefer to be crying in my Lamborghini, until you're the one crying in your Lamborghini because you're sad and you're crying in your Lamborghini, bro. Because I promise you, you may like to sit on your nice couch right here and say that it would be better to sit in your Lamborghini and cry, until you're the person crying because your life is terrible, yet still you have all this money, bro. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yes, there has to be more.
That's all I'm saying, man. I feel like that's so, bro, even to just imagine that, I feel like that's so, like, scary, bro. Like, imagine having, I mean, some of these people act rich, they're not even that rich, but like, imagine actually being rich enough to where you can do anything and your life is still empty, bro. Still, bro. Do you know how, like, I can't even call that sad. Like, do you know how, like, that's actually scary, bro, to think about.
Yes.
Like, how can you even, all over social media, how can you achieve everything that everyone wants to achieve and you're still miserable, bro? Like,
because you know why? We've taught ourselves that this is the most important thing in the world.
That's true.
When the most important thing in the world are your parents, people who love you, people who actually check for you. Like realistically, if we serve the people that actually are in our own vicinity, you'd be surprised at how your life will change. You'd be surprised. And the feeling you get from that is unfathomable. It's unfathomable. It's a quench that honestly you can never get from anything else. I promise you.
I mean, the thing that I tell myself to really illustrate this point, or I think about it, I guess, is imagine you being rich so that you can buy stuff for yourself. Imagine that possibility. And then imagine being rich and putting your friends on. And then imagine how you feel in both scenarios.
Bro.
Come on, bro. Imagine if you're rich enough to be like, hey, guy, you know your the bills you've been struggling with? Bro, just have this right quick, bro. Just have this right quick, bro.
But
and I'm not, before you attack me, I'm not talking about just being a handout cash cow, bro. I'm not talking about that.
I was just about to say,
that's not
also teaching your friends how to fish.
Continue. No. I already knew where you're going. Go ahead.
Teaching your friends, your family, whoever, how to fish for themselves is. Imagine, just put. I'm gonna take you guys on a trip. Imagine, just close your eyes for a second. You're in your penthouse, looking over the city,
That's a nice one, isn't it?
You're chilling with your loved ones. You got food on the table. It's warm and cozy. Bop, 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 bop. Knock on the door. You get excited. Bah, who's it? Who's it? And it's literally every single person you've helped this year. How many people are knocking on the door? How many people are there? Right now.
Bro, I bet you there's so many people. It's like 5, bro.
See, and those 5 people that you thought about, or the people that you thought about, are begging for you.
Bro, there's a lot of people. It's 2, bro. It's 1. It's 0, bro.
And put on doesn't mean like, oh, I got the best thing out there. Da, 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 da. Let's. Sometimes it's literally just sitting down and having a conversation, being like, look, I know you've been going through this and this and this, but I don't like the way you've been going. Like having those frank discussions.
Bro, and this is another topic altogether.
Bro.
But like, just the idea of this generation being so I-centric. Because everything has to be me, and I have to feel, and I need to get, and I need to. It's just, it's. I don't even want to say it's not good. It's just, it's. Insert word here.
Yeah,
bro.
You saw the rest of the video after the child said what he said. That's the world we live in.
It's just me, myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this regardless. I'm gonna get this work. I'm gonna feed this way because I know it's in the cost for me. I know I'm gonna get this person because I deserve it. Why? I can't tell you why I deserve it, but I just do because I feel like that. Just I, bro. Me, myself.
Damn. And all this kid wants to do is make people feel okay.
Bro.
How much money you want to make? Make people feel okay? Bro, what? How did we get from that to this? Mad. Somewhere in the structure of this is a whole other topic, but somewhere in from when we left our parents' house to growing up and being young adults, something happened. Insert what happened there. And it's different for everybody, but damn. I really enjoyed this one.
This one was needed,
Bro.
It's tough. Listen, bro, if you're watching this video, if you don't share this right now, bro, I'm gonna come haunt you in your room.
Bro.
If you see ghosts tonight, you know who it's from.
Bro, share this one. Because this is honestly, like, I probably haven't talked about that story in a long time. Like, probably in that much detail in like ever.
Wow.
But just because of like the innocence of this child, and I feel like in creating impact, if I'm being true to myself, I have to share me. That's me. That's raw. Somebody's out there who's like looking at this being like, damn, that's how we did it?
And that's, bro, this is another topic too. But there was another thing that I had in my notes about being vulnerable. Which is basically what you just did. And rightfully so, I think a lot of people have hesitation about being vulnerable, obviously, because by definition, vulnerability.
Yeah.
But especially if you're, everyone wants to be creators these days. Everybody wants to be influencers,
Yeah.
Bro, to be an influencer, bro, imagine trying to be an influencer, but not wanting to be vulnerable, bro. It's so problematic. It's so problematic, dude.
Bro, you're spitting facts right now.
It's so problematic, bro, in every sense, bro. Especially if you're a person who claims that the type of impact or influence that you want to put is positive.
Yes.
But you're not vulnerable.
Yes.
It's so problematic, man.
Something I heard is the story you're currently writing includes the dark days And those dark days also can create the type of impact that you're looking for, that someone needs, essentially.
I would even go further. Not can create. That is the reason.
That is, yes. Thank you. That is.
You can't feel happy if you don't know what it is to feel sad.
And even the term happy too. I'm sort of changing that to joy, because joy is when you feel joy. That's an everlasting like feeling.
It's a different.
Yes.
I feel like if you have come to the point where you can acknowledge the significance of joy over happiness,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is like a mature mindset.
Yes.
Like I shouldn't say significance, but if you appreciate joy more than happiness, I feel like that is a signifier of a mature person.
Yes. I'm starting to shift into that mindset, because happiness is fleeting. Happiness, if you chase it, just keeps running away. Joy is something that is everlasting and enduring.
Dude. And take in, what does everyone in this generation talk about?
I want to be happy. And that's what I'm saying, bro. We're chasing the wrong things. Whether it's money, no, not money. Chase the impact, or whatever it is that you want to equate it to. But trust me, just take my word for it, right? Just take our word. Service to others is the fastest way to income.
It's just tough because it's like people have good intentions, because there's a lot of people that realize, okay, let me not chase money, let me chase happiness instead. And that's a good switch.
Yes.
But you have to also realize that chasing happiness is also a dead end,
Yes.
which is tough.
Yes.
Let me say it in a different way. Maybe happiness in itself is not a dead end, but I think a lot of people exclusively search for happiness, and they omit the work that accompanies it.
Because it is based on your own perception of what will get you this high.